Good side.
Talking about me.
That is good side too.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of miss the beard. I was used to growing it out for a while, and then you shaved it, and now you're like,
Well, you know, turning in all my spring training, got enough money to buy a ring.
Start the season.
Once spring training hits, pitchers and catchers report, here it comes off.
They doing pretty good?
That's spring training. It is fun to listen to them on the radio.
yeah, that's how the Leafs were doing. 5 minutes into the game, and they're already losing.
Are they?
Yep.
Ethan, are you still fasting? Okay, so it's gonna be a quick meeting, right?
I've already been called by multiple people.
I got my water ready for 7:33.
I was gonna say, I think our high score was we got through the entire agenda, and I think it was 13 minutes. Was that?
The council meeting went pretty quick, but I have to say I was pretty quick too. So
You were very quick.
I don't know if the next one will be so pleasant. I hope it is.
I've been cussed out by my sergeant twice this month.
Another meeting.
I don't sure know.
How's the TSA over there? You don't do like backup lines or anything?
Midnight.
Yeah, true.
They close up the others, or
Yeah.
people close up all the clock. You can't get in. Period. You.
Yeah, I hope so.
It'll be quick, I promise.
Jeff, we really ought to think, consequences. People make promises.
So do you guys
Oh.
Twenty-four, 6 o'clock.
What's the suggestion?
I'm good with 6 o'clock.
Sure.
Or we could do it the morning before.
Well,
We have a forum.
There we do.
Hi, Martha, we're very happy to see you. And you too, Roger.
Oh, thanks.
Go ahead.
sir?
This will be us.
That's how it goes, huh?
She never was able to talk. She's too old.
Yeah, we're much better. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That way we can close and go, well, open, go close. That's-
Chuck.
Mr.
Take it
Making
easy on us tonight, will you?
Mr. Making history in City Hall, by the way.
I'm
You're
sorry?
the very first and only resident that's ever left something in the Dropbox about the city website.
Keep everybody up to date. This thing's broken.
She's supposed to be here.
Well, you handed out our information.
Oh, but I can't do it.
Yeah, she did. Speak of the devil.
Well, how was Florida? Oh, way better than here.
You can guess it also.
It was nice to come back.
Two lovely years.
Hey, I got the link up.
And it was cool when I got down there. I was 47 when I got there. That's how it was. But it's awesome. Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Really?
One lives.
Holy
Yeah, and I'll be quick.
There's only three on the agenda.
That's good, 'cause we have our big meeting.
I want to be quick. All good stuff. For the most part. I like that. Answer. That's good stuff. Who's coming?
All right, now to call the Commission of Melvindale Public Safety to order on this day, Tuesday, March the 10th, 7:30, 2026, 7:30. Roll call, please.
Bolton,
Here.
Nick Isaac, McDaniel,
Here.
Clinton, Alvarado.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need somebody, first off, Commissioner McIsaac is excused. The work, even that work gets in the way of this.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 2026.
Support. Any discussion? Call the vote, please.
Bolton,
Yes.
McDaniel,
Yes.
Alvarado.
Yes. Now we need special. Approve the minutes from our special meeting on the March 3rd. Any discussion? Call the vote, please.
Bolton,
Yes.
McDaniel, Alvarado.
Okay, floor is yours, chief, 7:32.
I'm Thursday. So, last month, March, we had 840 incidents. We towed 22 cars. We will be going out for bids for a new tow company. Researching it, their tow contract is up in July, not May, which I think is actually a good thing. Give us more time to get things in place. I think we will work with everybody we need to put out exactly how we want it ran and what our fee rate will be and how it will be handled and do it in the right amount of time and order. So that's that. Out of the 22 cars that were towed, obviously those ones were, we had 849 traffic stops, I guess, or violations, but we wrote 679 of those. So that makes sense to you. And we arrested 47 people. I can tell you it's been a very busy day today, yesterday, and we're still trying to overcome our shortages at the jail. We're working on it. We have some things in the works that we're hopefully going to move forward on. One of the other things we talked about last meeting, you brought it up, sir, Basil, the guy's in the machine, he keeps working. Just wanted to give you an idea, Jake helped me on this as well. 2024, he wrote 1,925 violations, which ended up being 519,750. This year, or 2025, sorry, he wrote 1,829. I guess he tweaked them a little bit, ended up being 520,980. So for the last 2 years combined, he's written over $1 million. So that's awesome. I'll tell you, with researching him, it's a dual-edged sword. He writes most of his tickets for truck routes and writes for impeding traffic, which is a good thing. A lot of that ticket stays local. The bad part, because I can tell you, the 24th District Court in Allen Park is 2/3 of our ticket revenue. So that $1 million would really help Allen Park out more than they help us out. If we wrote more overweight tickets, which was affecting our roads, $1 million a mile of road and all that, those fines would go up and we'd be more eligible for grants and things like that because we're staying local right in the impeding ticket, and which is a nice way of not hurting people's car insurance and businesses and all that. I get it, but you see what road work we're having done, and so it's a dual-edged sword. So I think he's doing a great job. I will tell you some things we're looking at with there and in ordinances. I think there's got to be a little different way. I think we're kind of overstepping our authority in some roles, which raises liability. So I'll tell you with that, I won't get into too much of this because Rod will shake his head. We are working hard to try and get through getting a new insurance company and have some critical issues they want us to work on. We already started on that. You guys approved Bill Mehall. We're already working on those kind of policies. There was a lot of pay when we filled out the application to try and go through insurance. What's the first policy? What you have this policy? So we have a lot that are in draft that we're gonna work on that we know we need to get to. So on that note, one of the trainings, I have a flyer if you guys want it. We moved our training date from May 20th, because that sounds like it's gonna be when it is gonna be, to April 24th, for two reasons. Three reasons, I guess. First and foremost, our officers, it's a holiday for them. It's a big religious day for them. We want to be cognizant of that and obviously support them. Financially, it'd be double time and a half because they're paid holiday. That's not the reason why we moved it. But the other part is moving it another month out gets the opportunity for more police departments to join. So we started at $300 an officer. We negotiated down to $125 per officer, and it is MPOLS approved. So you can use certified funds for that. 302 funds is what it's called. So we're doing that on the 24th at the Mohammed Saeed Rec Hall Senior Citizen Home.
Sorry, it's 24th on which side?
April 24th. So it'll be two sessions.
These sessions include food.
Well, here's the thing. Doing it in April, we're on E2, so yeah, we'll have some snacks there. There's two sessions from 8 to noon and then 1 to 5. The first 2 hours will be duty to intercede, so we don't get ourselves in trouble. And the other would be a Fourth Amendment advanced search and seizure class. So I think both of those are very critical, and our officers knowing what we need to do, even more if we need it. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to touch base on is we've done the officer wellness training, okay, which was required by the state. A whole lot of unfunded mandates. Get this done, but there's no money to do it, right? So we've done that. All our people have been trained, and that's a big deal. Officer wellness is a huge issue for us, for everybody. So I'm glad we've done that. We need to do it again next year. We have an EAP program with the city administrator. And I met with our insurance company. I don't want to steal his thunder, but at the council meeting, I think he's going to try and bring up to add to that. So there's a program called We Connect. It goes on your phone for $2 an officer. You guys don't have to just want to inform you. For $2 an employee and an officer, they get unlimited counseling, therapist for them, family members, kids. So have an officer who's in the right mental state and calm has citizens get a benefit for that. And for our whole city, not just the police, fire, BPS, you name it. It's a pretty inexpensive thing. It's a huge thing that we're doing. So I'm hoping it'll get approved. I think it's an amazing thing. That's awesome. It's 100% confidential, and you can use it as many times as you want. So that's great.
Chief, question about that?
Yeah, please.
Do you anticipate most of the interactions to be by phone? Or we-
Well,
can it go
after
to
COVID,
see-
most therapists now are over the internet and all that. There's very little come lay down on my couch and all that, because they can have two people in the waiting room and then just argue or not. We do the same thing with courts. Lawyers now, right, will tell you, you can be in 10 different courts on one day and you're in different ones. So that's where we're at with that. So I think that's important. We have one program now where we deal with, so we have officer issues and obviously the public's, right? We want to be mindful of that as well. We have Hope Not Handcuffs in Melvindale, all right? I've seen this program work, but with that, it's basically a blue tub that's in our office there that most cops don't even know what it is, and it needs to be, we need to respur that up. So what that is, if I have an addiction problem, I have issues, they walk into our police station and we don't worry about warrants, we don't worry about that, we just get them out. I can tell you, it hasn't been utilized, but it's not really our fault it isn't utilized a lot, because most people don't come up from the police department and say, help me, right? It can be. So that's step one. Step two is another program. So they come to our building. We've already implemented the partnership with the guidance center where we bring the iPads. So we go out on a run, we hit it, and we get them out. The next step, which I think is even more critical, is actually us going out to them. And I know this is a little different thinking for law enforcement people, but how many repeat offenders do we deal with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis over and over and over again? So there's a program called Come Back Quick. I'll explain that in a second. So that'd be the middle one. And then the last one is a diversion program. So you have someone who's on drugs, who needs help, they're breaking into cars and garages and stealing stuff and hawking everything they own to get drugs. If you help those people at Hope and Handcuffs that come back quick, and possibly if they fall into the right diversionary program, then guess what? We stop having break-ins, we get people help, we save lives, and people actually see us as not just the people that come to arrest you or write tickets, it's actually they're trying to help. So I think it's a holistic approach to this. I can tell you, and this run by FAN. So it used to be Family Against Narcotics. They changed that name. Now it's Facing Addiction Now. It's the same group. There's all kinds of money out there for this. And I'll explain the program a little bit in a second, but the reason why I bring this up now and the motion I'm looking for, we need help on our desk. So there's been issues with Jacob coming over and working. Their union doesn't like it, he's full time. City says he's clerical, if you want. I'm trying to stay out of it in between that civil war going on. I can tell you we need him, but I understand the other side, right? So we hired Dawn. Unfortunately, she moved back on. She's making twice as much money in Lincoln Park Court. And I get that. What I am happy is Dawn's like, wow, I got to see Melvindale, completely different perspective of the city. The officers are great. She has her favorites, you know, and I think she got a snapshot of her department and where we're at, which I think is a good thing. I don't want to just fill that spot with someone who's just answering phones, so let me get you an officer. So I have Tara as a part-time person right now. For the city, it doesn't work right now. The brand new city clerk, and what we have going on, I can't swipe her full-time. I'd love to have her. She's a part-time employee, and she's a wealth of knowledge. She's going to help us on the accreditation side. So myself, Campbell, me, Hall, who we hired, she would be that administrative assistant that would help with grants. What I'm looking at is with replacing Tara, which I don't have to come there to do this. I'm looking at taking a person that can do that, but instead of accreditation, we'll be doing something else, okay? A lot of something else. So I think all that helps us put in place. So what is it that I want them to do? The whole handcuff person, if someone comes in right now and says, I need help, we pick up the phone, we dial a number, and they call an angel that comes in. For Melvindale, it's Rick McGuffey. I'll introduce you in a second. He would get them in treatment right on the spot, okay? That's what Hope Not Handcuffs does. We hit the button with the guidance center. We've already done that. We had someone in the lobby hit the button, they sent an Uber, brought him to the guidance center, they got him in treatment. Guess what? My officers now are taking the time to go to the hospital, doing a petition to commit them for psychological evaluation. A lot of times they're out before we finish the paperwork, even though they're supposed to hold for 3 days. Just the way it goes sometimes. This program, someone has an overdose, and we've had overdoses, and We had a death recently that I can tell affected my officers and even the mayor who tried helping this person, she died, right? And the neighbor who was, she spoke very highly, Ahmed, gave her a hug, and was more than courteous to her, and was supportive, walked her home, got her out of there. So we're doing that stuff. What Comeback Quick Team does, and I did it in Elm Park, I was on the team, is after an overdose, we try to respond to the house within 72 hours, okay? And simply knock on the door, and I would say, hey, this is Chris with the police department, I heard you overdose, checking on you, see how you're doing, and if you would, I'd like to talk to you, a couple friends of mine, they're waiting in the car. We show up in polos and jeans, tennis shoes, if you want, not in a police car, it's low key. I've seen other cities do this, and they surround a house like they're getting ready to raid it. Your results don't work that way, right? For people that are looking for help, they might not trust the police. What I'm looking to do is add a position that takes care of my desk, watches our prisoners for the time they're there. Tara can't work Thursday, Friday, she's over here. So I'm proposing, if it's Rick, or someone like him, to do that role, but they would actually be a fan employee, okay? So 2 days a week, Thursday, Friday, when Tara's not here, Rick would be up at the front desk handling all the stuff that Tara does. Tara handles, when it's slow time, she helps us with policies and all that stuff, formatting, checking spelling, making copies, whatever. Rick would be the case manager for QRT. So if you would, if you don't mind, or we can do a motion if you choose to. I'd like to introduce him and tell you a little about his story if you want, but I'm looking for a motion that I'm pretty much, we have the position, but I'm trying to create a position that's gonna be able to do more than just answer the phone instead of being an officer. So it's gonna lower
I'll make
liability.
that motion and we'll go into discussion.
I'll make the motion to look to have someone on Thursday and Fridays.
Any support? Support, discussion.
Thank you. So basically, our Comeback Quick Team goes out to the house after an overdose with an officer who will be trained. It's gonna be a volunteer department. I'm out, I don't wanna do this because I don't believe what happened. We have a lot of officers, almost everybody on the teams I've seen have been impacted by drugs, but you don't have to, right? They would go out, as the conduct person, connect person. If they're willing to, we bring a peer coach up and a family coach up. So, Rick, if you would come up, just give them a brief introduction of who you are, a little bit about your background, Rick, and what you've done.
So my name is Rick McGuffey. I am a peer recovery coach, a community health worker, and just recently certified as a mental health first aid responder. I didn't always carry those titles. Back in the early 90s, I worked EMS for LC Taylor, and we contracted to do 3 cars we had to work the city of Detroit. One day I responded to a call on the Lodge Freeway, 2 cars in a head-on collision. A 7-year-old boy was thrown through that vehicle, through the windows, and thrown onto the freeway. We swooped him and ran with him. I was teching that day doing patient care. In and out to the hospital, that little boy was in and out of consciousness, and he asked me if he was going to die. I promised him I would not let him die. That little boy did, in fact, die on our way to the hospital. So that kind of spiraled me into, I guess, a little bit of PTSD, a little shame, all kinds of emotions, looking into, I couldn't sleep anymore. I woke up with nightmares, night terrors, and things like that. And I was looking for an escape. Somebody introduced me to something one day. It was narcotics that I slept for the first time. I didn't wake up dreaming about this little boy. Little did I know that it was still 19 years of my life. I quickly spiraled out of control. I was, by the end of my addiction, I was one of those guys with the signs on the corner. Today, I'm 10 years into recovery. I work for this amazing organization called FAN, as the chief had said. I've been there for 8 years. I also work for 25th District Court. I've been with Judge Clifton's drug court program for 8 years. And we have these amazing programs. We have, as he had said, we have a diversion program. We have a comeback quick response team. And we have Navigate, which is peer recovery coaching. We have Hold My Handcuffs. These programs have been instrumental to a lot of these cities. I was at the launch of Chief Egan's when he was over in Allen Park. It was very successful. It's sad that it came to an end. That's about what my knowledge of why it did or even pay for it. But These programs are very beneficial. And I know what changed my life is actually, I was hit by a car one day and I was put down into physical rehab, but it was actually a complete stranger. Somebody like Chief Egan. I've been on a call with Chief Egan before, but he had told you that you're not gonna join Step Aside. That was actually me and him when we first started this. And having seen the compassion and caring from a police officer standpoint of it, that he had, it actually changed the person's, view of police officers. And when he introduced me, and I'm up here, I'm somebody that struggled with the same type of issue that this person we were out to sea with, it changed everything. Because now you can relate. He may be great and he may understand, but he didn't walk my shoes, right? So if you walk my shoes, I'm more willing to open up to you. And so what we would do is once we make that connection, we would sign him up for a peer coach. A peer coach would meet with him once or twice a week. They would guide him into the recovery. They would take him if they need housing, we would help them find housing, we would help them get their license, we'd help them get a job. Whatever they need to get their life back. That's what our program's about. And it's been very successful. We have 26, I think it's 26 police departments we have to come back to responsibility. And I don't even know how many hold my handcuffs.
So he would actually be a fan employee. They pay his health care, pay his benefits. We'd have him talk to the city administrator, fill in Thursday, Friday, and like Dawn was able to do, if your son gets sick or the school thing, or she gets sick, may be able to fill in, if not, so it'd be a rare occurrence in Jacob Maple or somebody else, right? But to have somebody on standby to come to the station on Monday when you're in a snow there, it's not plausible to do it. Here's the good part. Fan bills us for his, we're looking at him doing 10 hours on Thursday, Friday, which is 20 hours. We have people that can watch prisoners. Someone who's already been lien approved. He's also started working at Washington County Jail as a person there.
I'm in the process of that. Now I'm in the process of
but we would have Thursday and Friday for the most part, maybe fill in here and there. Fan would invoice us just like Meehall's invoicing us, so we don't have any of the cost of employees. Now I'm gonna tell you the best part. It looks like, and we have opiate funds that have been in our bank since Chief Jones that we have to use for drug related stuff. $137,596.95. Plant Moran says, you can't keep this money in this account. We have to put, so we put another account. It has to go for drug related programs. I believe that and talking with Dan today and getting this, the right account number and all that, I have copies if you want, it's more for the council. I believe we pay FAN, and then those paid invoices we submit. And I talked to Marl Bassinelli from Sterling Heights, who's pretty much doing the same exact thing we're doing. We might be able to buy polos, we might be able to buy, I know the grant we had for accreditation, we bought computers for cars and desks and other equipment that doesn't have to come out of the general fund. So I want to take a bite out of this $137,000. I think his whole salary, training and all that, but more importantly, when you talk about re-imaging an apartment and being able to highlight our officers who are doing an amazing job with youth care, is huge. And he won't give you names, he won't tell you how many, but I can tell you, I know he coaches people in Melvindale, who was in all kinds of different religions, who are very critical of people doing narcotics. And where were your stopping grounds? Were you in trouble?
Yeah, honestly, I frequented the motels here in Melvindale, Mel Plaza and the Red Rose. A lot of these, the ones right there by Oakwood and where the old White Castles was. I mean, and that is honestly, they're cheaper motels, so it's where somebody that's in addiction is gonna go. They're gonna go where it's cheap and hourly rate, or just somebody just don't care. And a lot of times, if you got the money, these folks don't care. You know what I mean? So, and what we do too, as well, is when we go out, well, we don't have a lot of calls to actually respond to that. We actually go out into the community and we go to these hotels. We'll give them our information. We'll put it on their desk and we'll let them know. So that person that comes in and struggling with addiction, they may come in and they may be struggling at the time and they might not accept the help at that moment, but they will put that card in their pocket later on and they may say, okay, now's the time I want to go to treatment. It helps. It changes.
And I can't hire him as a cop because of his history, but I love the fact we're giving people second chances. And I was, like I said, I was there when he said, when the plunger went down 20 years ago, I think I dropped his head. He's like, yeah. And then the guy's in tears in his face. I can't believe the police are actually in my living room helping. that's where you start seeing a difference. People viewing us is actually what, we interviewed 2 people yesterday. Guess what they said? I wanna help people. Well, we're giving them the tools to help people. So that's where we're at on that. So, like I said, looking to be able to kind of finesse the position that's already there with the ultimate goal, of paying for it. I don't know, the city administrator is okay with us paying, if mayor and council is, for a part-time person. We already have that in there.
Position's already there.
It's there, it's just what other duties we're doing. But I wanna be upfront with you. Yeah, he's gonna do exactly what we wanted to do, along with some other really important things, just like CARES and other really important things, and move our city in the right direction to get that insurance company, rebrand our department, and really give our officers the ability to really help people and save lives, so.
Got any questions? Mel?
Yeah, you were talking about the funds available to pay for this position. What were those funds from?
So, the government, it's called opiate funds, and almost some departments got millions of dollars. I bet you people don't have. Right now, checking today, the fund, I don't know what we gained in interest and things like that, we have almost $140,000 that are just sitting there, and they couldn't figure out what to use it for. So it's not like they were ignoring it. This will fall underneath that, I believe, but I will check the box, make sure we're right before we do that. If it doesn't, I still think we should go forward. We have to hire an employee towards the front desk. We're only open from 8:30 to 4:30, but I have an officer sitting there right now on an aggravated domestic, right? He's sitting there watching a guy in a camera. He can absolutely do that while answering phones and things like that. Our jail has to be updated. That's a whole other thing I'm going to do tonight. But we struggle every day trying to figure that out. That keeps an officer on the road. So
this original money, $140,000.
it's called opiate funds.
That came into the department
Years
a
ago.
couple chiefs ago.
Well, and I think it is yearly. I don't know, it depends on when they issue them to the cities. Cause I asked about it and it took me till today to find out we do have it. This account's in. I had the account number, so, I would think it's a slam dunk for the council, but,
I'm just concerned that part of the finessing and doing other jobs other than what it's intended for are gonna disqualify those funds.
no, it's
I
not.
don't want us to pay for one thing and it be something else.
He's a fan employee.
I understand that, but you have, if he's an employee, that's the job, but we also have him doing these other jobs that wouldn't be covered under that money. Are we now in violation? Are we gonna lose that
We'll
money?
make sure we're not, but I'll tell you this, fan doesn't have a problem with it, and it would be paying for a, come back quick case manager / administrative assistant, just like Kara. Kara's handling these functions, and she's a clerk. He would handle those, so it's uniquely qualified for a person like this, and there's money, but I'm with you, I don't wanna spend money that we can't. Other cities are doing it, it doesn't mean it's right, but we definitely will make sure. But even if these funds were zero, I would still wanna do this position.
I have a question, just forgive my ignorance, but what is SPAN?
It's a group, Judge
It's a
Davis.
grassroots organization that started back in actually, I think it was 2007, in the basement of a church in Fraser, when three teens overdosed. So Judge Linda Davis, who said on 41B, I think it is, Clinton Township Court, she actually started this organization, group of women that start meeting in this building, in this church. And over the years, they've actually expanded. We have, like I said, we just have so many programs now that other people struggling with any type of addiction and to get their life back. We just started a program now with doing Hep C cures. Anybody, because a lot of times people in addiction, they have hepatitis C. We actually pay for that. We come out, we assess them, we pay for it. But the biggest thing, like I said, is it's changes people's lives. A FAN is an organization, 90% of its employees are people in recovery. And like I said, we've been around since 2007 and we're continuously growing.
Do you have other colleagues, if you will, from other cities doing similar?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We have, it's over, I can't say for sure, it's over 100 something police departments. We have to Michigan has Holding Handcuffs. We have 26 that have come back quick response teams. As you were saying, Captain Mario Bassinelli of Sterling Heights was our pilot program. It's been huge out there. It's been so successful out there. They keep expanding. And so it's like I said, and the biggest thing with people that are out here struggling with some type of addiction is we're overlooked and we're judged. And when somebody shows us that little bit of kindness and compassion, sits down with us, it actually changes everything. That's exactly what happened to me. Somebody showed me that compassion and that kindness, and it changed my life.
Captain Bassinelli has a similar program at Sterling Heights, and this is one of the sessions we were in Grand Rapids at the conference, and we had a meeting with him afterwards. We were discussing, hey, what do you think? And Judge Davis is the one that said, well, what if he stayed our employee? Because I'm like, hey, can I steal him? And he's like, no, but he can be entertained. So I do think it's covered.
And we have
But
chapters.
if it isn't, we won't go down that road, but we'll make sure that it is.
Well,
But
there's still in the budget, there's money to pay for an individual.
yeah, we'll pay for his 20 hours plus whatever, like we did Dawn, she could fill in up to, I think it was 28 hours like Kara, but we use them, she's not here, if that makes sense.
Right, and you, because, and you are certified to watch prisoners.
Oh, yeah, he can, and he's lean certified. We will train him in cleanliness and lean, take the test and all that, so we're covered. But, I certainly understand what you're saying, that we don't wanna get ourselves in trouble spending money that we shouldn't. It is covered for our overtime, and honestly, being able to have officers come work overtime or not selling tickets, when it's a positive action instead of negative, I think goes a long way for us getting good people, keeping good people too. But it also saves lives, so.
Like I said, my big concern is spending money that aren't supposed to, or authorizing money to be spent on something that's not gonna be, is gonna get us in,
You make sure.
for the fact of a matter, just a kickback situation that we don't need as a city. I'd rather know that we're not before I say yes.
$140,000, so I understand this came in from, it's supposed to go from drug money, and we're not sure how to use it.
It's opiate fund, I think we have a lawsuit, and they said it has to go out to the community, and it has to be used for certain things, so he's right, but this absolutely falls under the opiate program and going out and helping people and getting people in treatment. And there are certain things, like if they say you can't buy a desk, but you can buy a desk if it's for someone that's doing these casework, there's those exceptions. For me, it's his salary, it's our officers' overtime, which would be one officer more likely. Not only is there a peer coach, that another person comes out that helps the family, someone who lost a child, lost a husband or wife. So it's a huge community program that has, people deserve a second chance. And for the officer standpoint, we're not going back and dealing with people breaking into stuff and nobody in and dying and it frees up the other stuff. So
Sounds like a real good plan. Any more comments? Do we need to approve this? It's just a recommendation. It's a recommendation. We got a motion, let's go.
Bolton,
Yes.
McDaniel,
Yes.
Alvarado.
the next thing I have quickly is our contract says we're trying to get the 12-hour shifts. Our manpower is moving in the right direction, kind of. We've hired 2 people. I'm going to introduce you to them shortly. We have people that we're getting into the academy. We're getting through the process. We still have a couple more work we're doing. One of the person was out, and we got another app in. And we're trying to get one more lateral. Having said that, the way the contract reads now is complete. I don't know. I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not pointing blame, but I'm not comfortable with going 12-hour shifts with 2 cops on the road. I don't think it's safe for 8 hours, let alone that. So to me, with what we talked about, the charge approved 28 officers, I gotta get past the council, who's probably not gonna give me 28 officers, just being realistic here. But so what I did, what I'd like for you is permission to try and reach out to the unions and try and work with them for both organizational chart. And I talked to different people on this, so I'll pass this out to you. If you get that, Jacob, down there. And what I'm looking at doing, to go to 12-hour shifts, you have 4 platoons, 2 on day shift, 2 on nights, and then a detective bureau, and then administration. So currently we have 1 lieutenant, and we have an opening, without getting into myself in trouble. The last lieutenant that used to be employed here was an admin lieutenant spot. So I'm going to move up. I don't think I need permission for that. You tell me if I do. Move up my only lieutenant to admin lieutenant spot. Currently his office is in the detective bureau, as well as the assistant chief's detective bureau. So he's able to help the detective bureau, but he also will oversee the road. So that's why if you look under administration, the top one is administrative lieutenant. And the reason why that's important is if a sergeant or a lieutenant on the road is off vacation or whatever, he'll be able to fill in there. Okay, so he basically, myself, the assistant chief, and admin lieutenant will oversee the DP on the road, help where we need to. What I'm proposing is, we had 2 lieutenant spots. To go to days, to go to 12 hours, I'm proposing a day shift lieutenant and a night shift lieutenant. So you have a lieutenant, the highest ranking person in the union, who will oversee day shift road patrol, A and B team, and a night shift lieutenant overseeing C and D, the night patrol. That to me is critical to make sure our leadership is supervising and out there doing what they need to do. And then, so they're working both shifts, right? So you're working primarily Monday through Friday, but at least one weekend you come in and work that weekend with them, so you have knowledge of what's going on the weekend. So you would have 1 lieutenant and 2 sergeants on days, 1 lieutenant, 2 sergeants on nights. This by seniority, lieutenant says I'm taking July 4th off, the next one says I'm taking this one off. The lower sergeant of days would take that one off. They pick those shifts by seniority. So now it's very rare that you're gonna have a 2-year corporal who's out there making decisions and getting us in trouble or themselves in trouble. So they will move up and they will get training. So what this does was go from 2 lieutenants to 3. Believe me, the first day I was here and I said I'd like to have a lieutenant, sergeant, and 5 officers on a shift, I knew I was gonna get my head chopped off, and it was. That's ideal. This I think is manageable, it's doable, and I think it gives us the best chance to have supervision, which is what we need. So, you have 3 lieutenants, admin lieutenant, 2 road lieutenants. You have 5 sergeants, the 4 on the road, and a sergeant in the detective bureau. And then currently our contract says 6 corporals. I'm not looking to eliminate 6 corporals, but I only think we need 5, 1 on each shift. On the detective bureau, I'm proposing, when our numbers are up, putting that 1 in the detective bureau and then signing them out to MNET. Again, that other side of the coin, addressing the drug issues in our hotels and some of the areas that we have. I can tell you when I was chairman of MNET, it was over 3 million that was getting adjudicated. Those funds came back to 4 cities. So I think putting someone in there, again, brings funds back, and not only pays for that spot, but other spots, and our residents know. I've been there when we, downriver SWAT, or, they bring out that drug dealer and everyone starts clapping on the neighborhood, right? We know it's in our city. So I'm not looking to delete the corporal spot, I'm looking to use it when we have the numbers up. And right now we have 1 corporal who's still off on administrative leave. An update for you, we did bring a sergeant back who's on administrative leave. So currently we have 4 sergeants. Yes, 4 sergeants. Wait, 5 sergeants. We have 4 sergeants currently, but we need 4 to go to 12s. So they're doing their assessment center April 13th. Once we get those results back and all that, we'll move that they got a lieutenant to the sergeant test. What I'm asking for is permission to move forward with the union and then go to mayor and council on a proposed reorganization of this. So 3 lieutenants, 5 sergeants, 5 corporals, and then it's how many officers can we get and get approved. Right now, we would need, with our new officer, we need 4 more officers. We're hoping to put those 4 in the academy starting May, which is gonna be a while. So what you see here, the officers one there in tan, that gets us to 23 officers. We'll talk to the city administrator, 23, 24, maybe 25 is doable. That 24th officer, which is historically where we've been in Melvindale, 24 officers, that's what I'm proposing we use the corporal. It should be someone that had some supervision, right? Some cities throw officers that are officers for 2 weeks, they're all probation for the long. We do that and that stuff. I do have permission to send someone out there 2 weeks at a time just to get their feet wet and see if they like it and all that. We don't have manpower to do that. The red on the bottom, that gets us to 28. So my goal is get us to 23, get us to 24, and if God willing, I can get to 28. I want 28. There's a lot of things we could do with that, but I don't know if that's doable at this point. If I had 28 candidates, I'd be screaming up here, let's hire them, but we're gonna get us to 23, and then hopefully 24.
We're the ones that wanted to do that.
I know you did.
But, yeah. Do we need to act on this now?
Yes, for a lot of reasons. First of all, so we get the sergeant past your assessment center, and then it comes down to, I need those lieutenant spots. We have a vacancy now in the lieutenant spot, though. We just changed our contract that now they have to test to take the lieutenant spot. So you're talking, out of our 3 sergeants, 2 of them will move up to lieutenant. So now you gotta take 2 officers, move up to those sergeant spots, and So we're gonna need 3 supervisors and an officer in order to get to this. It's gonna take a bit.
Do you need us to act on this tonight, or can we put it on the agenda for our next meeting? Not to digest it. If you need.
All I'm asking you to do is, or I guess advise you that I'm gonna be working with the union and then presenting it to the mayor and council once we get an agreement. I don't know that they're gonna argue with, adding like kind of 2 sergeant spots. And I think more importantly, it does keep our officers safe, and I think it'll lower liability because we have great supervision in place, so.
Colleagues here, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't feel comfortable at doing anything tonight, because I've adjusted to talk to some people. But what I see looks good, roughly. I mean, I've never worked 12-hour shifts, nor have I worked for a department that had 12-hour shifts, a little bit different. And I know some people love them, some people hate them. We also have it in the contract. So it's there, once you get to the numbers. Unfortunately, I question whether we're gonna get the numbers anytime soon. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Do we put it on the agenda for our next meeting?
Well, yes.
Or you need it?
No,
I mean, I don't think that, I don't.
Yeah, what I don't want is, listen, you hired me to run the department, reorganize it. You ask officers, say, I want this, I want that, and you certainly have your opinion. I'm trying to get us set up with the best supervision possible, so our people are trained, they're supervised, and we're not making silly mistakes we've been making.
And that's why we hired you, and we appreciate that.
We
Not
paid,
against this necessarily.
we paid almost $300 this weekend because we put a juvenile in a interview room that didn't have cameras, and urinated all over the carpet and the walls of the tables. And it could have been much, much worse if we did something else. So, not pointing blame, we gotta fix it. We've done a lot in 6 months. It's 6 months yesterday that I've been here, and you and the mayor and council has given me the tools to move this department forward. Yeah, it's gonna take what it's gonna take. Even if you said yes today, I still gotta get all those other steps in place, and then schedule a test for 90 days, and then those results, and then come back and say, hey, these 2 sergeants should be moved up. So that's where we're at. But no, absolutely you can.
Okay, put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
Last, thank you. Last thing that I have is I want to introduce you to our 2 new officers. Officer Dewan, you want to come on? Just Dewan first. Mohammed Dewan, he went to the academy with, I know he's thirsty and hungry too, so I'm gonna try to be quick. He went through the academy with Bashir and Mohsen, so he has the same amount of experience as them, so he would come in at the same rate as those guys came in at. He was at another department, and I mean, I guess you said at the council meeting very quickly, tell him why you want to come to Melvindale and why you want to be part of this change, is what you told us.
I have a good year's worth of experience in a different city, and I practically lived with our assistant chief during the academy. It was about 17, 18 weeks long. So at that point he was retired, but when I heard he accepted a new offer, assistant chief at the city of Melvindale, my first thing I said to him was, hey, congratulations. The second was, are you guys hired? I know his reputation, that's what brought me here. I didn't know the chief beforehand. After I did get introduced to the chief, it sold me on this is the city I want to be in right now.
Screw this on the radio, I don't know if
Oh,
they
yes.
are one of them.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Welcome to our city.
Thank you, sir.
I think he's gonna be a great addition, he speaks multiple languages, and I think he's gonna.
Ask what language.
Absolutely. Fluent in Bangla, and my wife's from Palestine, so broken Arabic enough to get by and say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
I can't do that in English.
Take note.
Yeah. All right, Corey, you wanna come up?
Thank you, nice to meet you.
So this is Flora Walker, she did, over 15 years in Detroit, worked sex crimes, child abuse cases, a wealth of knowledge. Went to another department and almost, I let her speak, but, she wants to be part of this change in our department. I think we're very lucky to have her, so.
Yes, I chose Melvindale, because I was interested in everything that the chief lined out, his strategic planning, his vision, his goals, and when I did research his background, I was very impressed, highly impressed, and that alongside, Chief Campbell, his skills and his wisdom and ability, that drew me to the department, that pushed me to learn from under, gather more information about them and also to want to learn more, under their leadership. So that's the reason I came.
Awesome. So he's gonna be a great addition to our department too. We had an officer who made a mistake a few weeks ago. And when I sat down and talked to him over the policy, I said, who trained you in this? Do you have any questions? And like I said, every day we kind of get another sliver of information. He says, well, they put me in the back and told me, here's the flash drive. I'll see you in 2 weeks. So we didn't really train. How has the last couple of days been
Oh, it was awesome.
training? So
It was
just give a
awesome.
quick snapshot of how we're doing training now for people coming in. And the last person who's still on FTO is with Flora and Mohammed. So give them a quick
This
idea.
hands-on, they go step by step, which I believe that that's what we really need. I was also speaking to them about Virtual Academy, which are actually classes.
Yeah.
That teaches everything and gives a refresher course to those who've already been on, and as well as those the newer officers. But to sit side by side with the chief and go over everything and make sure that you know it was phenomenal.
So I hired him. He's in his element teaching. He teaches a lot of this stuff, but he will take our policy to our PowerPoint. It also gives us a chance to review and go, ooh, yeah, that we got to flash this, we have to do that. Because we have found things that aren't quite where they should be. And some glaring things, some biased things that people might not even realize come through. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
So anything else for the police department?
I got a couple things. We're talking about the tow company and going out for bids and stuff. I was talking to five today. We're sitting here talking, and 5, 6, 7 kids are buying e-bikes, like crazy kids. And we had talked previously before the holidays about getting e-bike ordinances and stuff. I would like part of that bid process, a different fee schedule for taking e-bikes. And I don't think it, in the unlikely event, unfortunate event that we're gonna take a kid's e-bike because he's not wearing a helmet or it's very dangerous or something like that, I wanna make it very accessible and not punitive for them to get their property back. I want it more to be teaching. I want kids to be safe on these things. And so,
We need to. One of the problems with that is just like Asher right now, needs to talk to it. We don't normally tow people's cars for civil infractions, or status offenses. They're most of them are gonna be juveniles, and so that creates another liability issue problem, but it's something we absolutely should put in there.
yeah, that way we're covered. We got a 7-year-old kid riding around an e-bike all over the place and he should be wearing a helmet and he's not, he's dangerous. We're not gonna let him ride off on it.
I'll say,
If we can get the kid's parents to come get it, that'd be great. But if we gotta do it right. I don't want it to be very punitive to the parent.
We had an issue with the 17-year-old breaking into cars and had problems keeping an eye on them. So that I have an officer on an e-bike, although it's a serious problem, we need to address it. It's one that we're all struggling. Not making excuses, but we have to worry about the liability of it, the legality of taking someone's property, and then dealing with the fallout with the parent. But you're right, it starts with the education, which we're doing in the fall with the back to school with the schools, but all that.
Yeah, and in my first city council meeting, they talked about e-bikes, and they were very concerned about enforcement on children. They actually, my first meeting, my first conversation, they're asking, if we would and why, and they were pretty clear that was not what was expected as far as taking enforcement action on children. It's been my experience, we dealt with e-bikes quite a bit because of the college campuses. It is a challenge to deal with those electric bikes. What are you gonna do if they don't stop on the sidewalk and you try to stop and they keep going? I mean, you're not gonna pursue.
No, absolutely not.
So all those things have to be thought out well in advance. It's a long process on how to deal with it. The process that most departments have, so I don't need to solve that problem yet. So it's something we gotta be very careful of because you're talking about someone's child and you start talking about stopping them and potentially traumatizing that child and having some sort of enforcement action by us. That's a challenge. Then even at city council meeting, we talked about where you put them. Some people didn't want them on sidewalks, so we don't put them in the street. Put them in the bike lane. I mean, so there's a lot of hurdles that are going to come with e-bike enforcement. I think the first one you got to deal with is education piece. Second is where you put.
But I do think we can add with the tow contract.
Yeah.
Towing
I mean, that's,
secure it.
if we're doing the contract, that's why I said bring it up now, just as a piece. I mean,
It's certainly.
we don't wanna add that to a contract later right now, I agree with you now. And, like I said, we discussed this.
We can certainly deal with,
November.
we can certainly deal with the adults too.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, my wife has one of those doggone things, they move.
Oh, yeah.
They move out. I mean, you can get 35, I think hers was 35, 36, 37 miles an hour. So we could deal with some adults, OWI and stuff like that on e-bikes. So it's certainly something that we're gonna need to address. Certainly, we gotta address in the policy and how we're gonna deal with them and certainly towing them, I think. Correct. We don't want them in the garage. They're fire hazards, they can't be.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't want you to shove it in the garage back there. So it is something that's been thought of. Like I said, my first meeting, it was an issue.
Just a reminder.
I know, it's like on the list.
Anything else for the, oh, you still.
No, I think that's it. That was it.
Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Thank you.
Feel free to ask us for food suggestions in the restaurants and whatnot. Anything else for the police? Give the assistant chief now for their,
We've got to set them up for tomorrow, I'm doing.
okay, so moving on to the fire department.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Let's see, last month in Melvindale, overruns compared to the year before, was down 13%. That's good. We only had 2 fires. One was a structure fire on Wall Street, and it was actually an attached garage. Which was a wood shop, so there was a heavy fire load in there. When they were, I guess it was just a pile of sawdust that was on fire in the wood shop in the garage, but they were able to get it out, overhauled the hot spots, that taken care of. And then the second one was on Dora, also in a garage, but oh no, sorry, this one was in the basement. Drive in the basement, overloaded, didn't clean out their lint trap. Me too. Yep, and smoldering clothes in the driveway. So that's it for that. Medical runs pretty much on par for the usual, and all calls were in the regular area. So pretty uneventful. It was so cold, nobody wanted to leave their house.
Or like you, they were all in Florida.
Well, yeah.
So any questions for the fire?
Oh, I have a question. How on Allen Road and is that valve?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, the duct is on
Coleman. What is there a limit of how many people can be in that house?
The billiard hall or the?
No,
No, it's a banquet hall.
banquet hall.
There usually is, it should be posted in the building somewhere.
Okay, because Saturday night, they had cars parked on Allen Road all the way down almost to because it's blocked off because of the construction.
They were parked in the construction.
Yeah, they were parked in there and people were trying to go around them and they're getting out of their car and they're standing in that.
Either the one on the west side or the one, not the cedar side.
No, yeah. There were cars parked out there, like you wouldn't believe it. People are trying to go around them. And I just wondered if they're exceeding the occupancy in that hall on Sunday.
Yeah, they could be, it could just be all the vehicles displaced in the street that make them.
Yeah,
Or I don't know.
but this was a lot.
You can always call
Yeah.
and
It just-
even PD can stop by, because it should,
Yeah.
it's usually marked somewhere in any larger building like
Okay,
that.
all right, I just wondered because it just seems like there's been a lot of cars out there now. And I don't, like I said, with construction, but the park on Allen Road is,
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a unique event perhaps because they have,
Did you
I
see
see,
it?
no,
No.
but I see cars in their parking lot weekend nights and people rent it out.
yeah.
And it seems to be a manageable crowd.
Yeah.
But this must
Clear
be,
it up.
This Saturday night was,
We have problems with the Friday night break at the mosque right now, and, the next 3 weekends at the field house, they have big tournaments coming on, all from morning to night, and then I know in 2 weeks with Eve, same thing, so you're right, it's just trying to manage those and keep an eye on everything. You wouldn't think it'd be hard, cities walk 3 miles. Busy.
All across the village is the same thing, when,
Yeah.
you know, if they see the opportunity to park on the street, and do that,
Yeah.
park on the sidewalk, you know.
Yeah.
Anything else for the fire department?
anything else for the fire? Moving along to corporate council. Good evening. Good evening. Audience participation. Come on, Chuck, let us know.
Okay. So I am not, I'm gonna go back to the scooters. I understand what you and the assistant chief Campbell were just saying, I understand. Yes,
You got his address? His name?
I live, I'm new here.
It's your first meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, proceed, sir.
Okay, thank you. Chuck Leckie.
That's all.
Anyway. So I understand what we're saying here. We don't want any more liability. You got me. I'm 1,000% with you. But I don't see the education going out to the parents, which is something I asked in the fall, and something I think I asked it to this council and to the city council. I personally want to see on our webpage, city webpage, first and foremost, a notification that, hey, it's warmer weather, kids want to have fun, everybody wants to have fun, but we need to be safe. Parents, and I want this in, I request this in Spanish and Arabic, that we communicate to the residents that these are they rules, are they ordinances, or we have nothing?
We have state laws.
State law. So we can go to state law, reference that, communicate it. I unfortunately don't believe these parents even know what these laws are. I can't believe it. I too saw 2 kids, 8 years older, they were about 2, and the third one was trying to get on the little motor scooter. This tall, you couldn't, if there was a SUV, you couldn't even see him on the street that I live on, riding down. And I'm not gonna be taking pictures of them, no. But we need documentation of, from the police. Maybe the police can do this, I don't know, you folks tell me, but
Our police can do anything.
I've been told that, yeah, no, no, but maybe that would be proof to go back to the parents and say, you may not have seen this, but this is what's going on. Your child could easily be hit by a speeding car on a residential street. And what? Yeah, it could be on a residential street or one of our major streets. And I think we need to start with the website. I think we need to go to socials. And I think maybe, is there a way to work with the schools to get, those addresses and maybe even do a flyer to their homes?
They've done videos, they have sent some to the schools, we shot a video with them, and then snow hit, so you're right, the weather's great, it changes, we do have plans.
Okay.
We did get some helmets, we're getting more, and the school, before next year's opening day, wants to have an education fair, whatever, and I actually talked with people from DA, trying to bring a house out, looks like a teenager's bedroom for,
That's great.
in plain sight, try to do a whole education kind of thing, but, and then some of those, I want to keep those helmets in our police cars, so exactly what you said, So see him stop by wearing a helmet out here.
A lot's gonna
Put it out,
happen
but see, you got-
between now
we
and
are
the end of the
limited on
school
how
year.
enforcement falls under civil infraction. I'll let Roger talk to that if you want, but we gotta be careful. The goal is to keep them safe.
I'm not
It's
talking
behavior.
about even interacting much with the kids. I think the parents are responsible. And I don't think they're educated, unfortunately. I mean, I don't mean college ed, I don't think they're aware. You know, and I think as a city, we need to help them be aware of the dangers of what's going on out there. So that's what I ask of the public service and the police department is, you know, yeah, I'll be glad to wait to have this effort when we go back to school, but
It needs to happen now.
it has to happen right now as a season and I want.
School's gonna get in the fall and then.
Yeah, we can do cheap, immediate things just to get awareness out as you build up your programs, but I strongly encourage it and I hope the Public Safety Council will.
Speaking for myself, and I assume my colleagues, we are worried about that, we agree with you, potential public safety thing, but educating parents, not just on e-bikes, we should be incorporating to tell them that the street is not a garbage can.
I'm with you.
There's a lot of, we gotta teach them that, a furry animal with a white stripe on the back is not a cat. Yeah, they're chasing the skunk.
Yeah.
Yelling at him to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, they thought it was a cat. Look at the little kitty and they're chasing a skunk. Yeah.
But that could be an ongoing communication effort, maybe from the Public Safety Commission, to say, hey, we care about you, we care about your kids, we want you all to be safe.
Does the city have a webpage?
Yeah, it's not very well managed, and I'm the first to say that.
But these parents that we're trying to educate probably are not gonna go to the city's website.
They may go to some social media sites. It has to start with the website.
I think they're more.
And then go to social. Yeah, go to social, but I think we need to get flyers out to homes. I don't know how expensive that is. We do it for Melvindale days. Every home has a sticker on their door in my neighborhood.
Carnival sponsors those.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck. Anything else?
Well, I did. Just one other thing. Hopefully this construction project, especially at Oakwood and Allen, will be coming to a close soon. I don't know. Feels like been forever, but I'm happy it's getting done. My point is, I brought this up before too, it makes no sense to me that we have only, so it's Oakwood heading towards Dearborn, so what direction is that, west? Oakwood west at Allen Road is the only one that says no turn on red. Why would we have one no turn on red and not at the other three corners? I've recommended that we have all four corners, no turn on red, because one, it's the busiest intersection I have to imagine in the city. Yeah, and there are crossing guards for not only children, but elderly and everyday folks. So what can we do? I know this is a county road, is that the deal?
It is a county road, and I think I think it was brought up that because I remember bringing it up, that it was talked about that those actually all did have signs at one point in time, but the county took them down and they just were never replaced. So that was supposed to go to.
Elementary? She was here once, that one woman, that maybe at council. But there's nothing we can do as a city, it has to go.
Can our police department help us with that? The county? I mean, you have a contact there? Because it used to be, supposedly, we were told all four corners had that. Somebody came and removed them. Perhaps.
Never been a chance. The Melvindale sign on Dixon Outer Drive has been destroyed by an accident evidently too. the Melvindale moving park sign. I don't know whose responsibility that is, but
That's the beautification.
anyway, I will contact the, Wayne County, who was here, was she the commissioner or? Clement Clerk, right? I will contact her too, but I asked if someone from the city can as well, so that.
Well, you're from the city.
I know, but I think it, more the merrier.
Through
No, I
the chair,
agree.
would we be overstepping our authority since how those are county roads to, put in city signs and say no turning on?
Can't do it or can't enforce it. I mean, we have a sign at the McDonald's, put a sign up on the road.
Okay, well, I'll take it up with, Clerk and Monte and then I'll report back. But since they're doing the cement work now, why are you gonna tear up the cement, put a sign in?
And we hope that they finish it up and do a good job because the sidewalks for handicapped people have been complaining for a long time. And because of that construction, every day, I see cars cutting through the McDonald's parking lot and down that street that they're not supposed to turn on. So they're inundating the neighborhood. Anything else, Chuck?
Thank you very much.
Audience participation. Come on up.
Evening, Commission.
You know his name?
My name is Angelo Garbarella.
Thank you.
After bringing up e-bikes, I'm gonna bring up something with a little bit more power. I believe both of our chiefs here ride. If I'm not mistaken, both of you ride a bike. So as you know, one of the deadliest things other than grass or leaves out there is gravel when you're not expecting it to dirt. And I've seen a lot of that on the intersection that we're all talking about, recently talked about. I believe Mr. Frederick brought it up before that there's a bunch of cones everywhere. Well, now it's dirt, gravel, and everything else that the construction crews leave behind. And it's honestly gonna cause an accident if somebody hits that and not. It's nice out. People are coming through on their bikes now. I see one kind of doing this after they hit a piece of gravel, and I said, I really hope you don't go down there. So is there any way that you can ask the council to bring this up to the construction crew again? What can be done?
You just asked him, first off, to answer your question. Council heard you. And I noticed on Oakwood and Dearborn going towards Michigan Avenue by the Ford's New World headquarters, they have street cleaners. You know what I'm talking about. So the construction company has street cleaners going up and down. And I thought that we need those. We need those, not just for his motorcycle, but streets.
For my motorcycle.
Streets of us there, and you know, you see those on Oakwood all the time, right?
I looked at those twice this weekend, rain, and yeah, people moving them, and we saw people going through winter. Right now, it's not very, that road isn't finished yet, but you're right.
So is this a county or state project?
It's a city project with grants to replace all those.
So we kind of have a little bit of a pull with the construction.
We do. Hennessy is overseeing the project and I will reach out to,
In my unlearned ways, it looks like the same project is going on at Oakwood by the Ford headquarters. It's been going on for 16 years also, right?
They open.
The headquarters open.
Yeah.
I'm talking Oakwood Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
still
okay.
one.
Thank you.
May I continue, or you want me to stop?
You may continue.
For the police department, I have been up here for about 5-6 years now. What really got me into these meetings were the officers coming up and talking about morale, talking about things they needed. I know that you're getting things that you need now, and that's great to see. How's morale doing, if you would have to say? Could you speak on it? How is our officers' morale doing?
I don't know that I can speak on it. I mean, I can give you my perception of what they think. I think it's moving in the right direction. completely burned out, I think helps, new equipment helps. Hearing a council meeting with people on arguing last time, I think helps, less, you know, friction, I think is a good thing, but it's gonna take a lot of work, it's gonna take more than another 6 months, but we're gonna give everything we got, as long as we're here. So, they seem to be agreeing, I mean, I think they're mostly, we're dealing with issues every day, you know, we really are, and every day something else gets exposed, but we're addressing them, and, it's not just recruiting retention, it's morale as well.
One thing in the police world that you'll find is a department that lacks management or lacks leadership, those are separate issues. You have leadership and you have management. Generally has bad morale. You can get toys, and you can have special things, but if they don't have management, they don't have leadership, they're just not gonna be happy. They got a big dose of both now. So it's gonna take time for them to get used to Chief Egan and I. As they get more used to it, get more comfortable, realize what we're looking for, know what to expect. I expect morale will be really, really high. I just can't expect it to be low. And also, don't forget, some of your happiness at work comes from you. You know, it doesn't come from us. So we can provide the structure that they need to be the best they can be, which is all we expect. That's all we're asking for them to perform. Once they get comfortable performing in front of us, that happiness then comes from inside. We can't assist them in that. But what we can do is if they're having personal problems, have programs set up to help them. One thing when we got in police work, we've been in police work for a long time. I'm embarrassed to say how long, but it's been a long time. We didn't have these programs. We didn't have help. You know, I was pushing for officer wellness when it wasn't popular. You know, when even the unions were pushing back saying, hey, if I go see someone, talk to someone, the employer's gonna find out, and they may fire me or take my ability to carry my firearm. No, as a union, we're not gonna. Now everyone's turning towards, so I'm glad that they're finally catching up with me. And I talked here to Chief Talk, and here they're finally starting to catch up with him. I think once we set all this up, things will turn for them, and then their happiness will come from within.
Two things cops hate, the way it is and change. So it's not there where you go, you're gonna fight that. But we understood coming in as outsiders, understood you can't flip the table and yell and scream and snap your finger and everything gonna change. It takes time. We have listened to the officers, and we do listen to them every day. But we also have to address the issues that are in front of us. So it's a balancing act. But and we start with the high ticket ones and down. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed. But that doesn't mean, like I said, since day one, if that officer are out there trying to do bad things. It's not the case. So they need to know that they're supported. But they first need to know, they need to have the training to know how to do the job, and then know they're gonna have their back if they screw up. But that next step is, hey, I screwed up, right? How do we fix this? That officer I told you about screwed up. He didn't know he screwed up, but there's consequences of that he needed to understand. Wow, I didn't do this, so this happened. Especially early out, you don't think about it. You look through the moment and you get to do it, you know. And a good 4, 5, 6 years to kind of get that under your belt. But morale is important to us.
Yeah, you said of urinating on carpet, refuse hanging.
Or you open a door and the wrists are cut, right? Because we have some things in that room that need to be addressed. So
anything else, Angelo?
Yeah. Sorry, you asked.
Insurance, you've talked about it a couple times. I know it's a big topic in the city right now. Residents are afraid, everybody's up in arms. You spoke that you're filling out paperwork for insurance. Can you talk about that or speak on that at all?
not really. I'll tell you that I was asked, I'm doing my part, and other department heads are doing their part, and it's getting reviewed, and we're all working together. What they said was important, we already knew was important, so we're already working towards it, and then they exposed some other things. And again, accreditation is the same thing, like how many fire extinguishers are in a place, right? We need to address a lot of different areas, but, you know, it's trying to get it fixed without causing a panic and making it worse. So, we have, it's not just me, we have a whole group of people moving toward trying to make sure that when our insurance switches, we're still covered. So it's a big deal. It's a high priority.
That's it. Thank you, Chief. Are we still giving out and installing smoke alarms?
Yep.
Where do they contact?
943-2134.
313, right?
No.
The free smoke.
Thank you.
Free smoke detectors, you have to own your home. We will put them in according to code.
Only for homeowners.
Yep.
Anything else? Audience participation.
I just have a quick question.
what about Tara? Why can't we just hire Tara full time? Like, she's told me before she wants to work full time. And she can work her school around it, so we got her, they can find somebody else, like, keep Tara. That's just my input, because she's awesome. Just curious if anybody asked her, because I've asked her multiple times, and she wants full time.
Thank you. You know who she is? She didn't say her name.
Scott's boss.
Audience participation.
All right, commissioners' comments.
Oh, I'd like to receive and place on file all correspondences from the police and fire department. This meeting.
Discussion? Call the vote, please.
Mulder?
Yes.
McDaniel?
Yes.
Colorado? Yes.
Anything else?
Oh, I have nothing.
Angela, you brought up around, I think the change in AC, the chief touched on it well. Change is very, very difficult for police officers, very difficult. I know I had some conversations, with officers in the department prior to the chief coming on, and the AC coming on as well. And some of them were like, screw this, I'm out of here. You know, and I mean, we have butted heads, but I respect them. I want the best for them. I want the best for the department. The first thing I did was go over to those officers, talked to them all and said, hey, change sucks. Give it time. Give it time. I asked them, I begged them, and they all said, yeah, we'll give it time. And none of them have left. The ones I talked to, none of them left. And they all respect what these gentlemen are doing. Although we may disagree on things, all of us have one common goal. And we're reaching it, I think. Doing a good job. So.
Yep. I just got a couple of things I wanted to talk about car lots. What the hell is going on in that lot on Dick's? 60 cars with really dirty windshields, with no license plate. Do we know about that? It belongs to one of the businesses, and I don't get involved in the business, but I'm looking at that thinking, why are we allowing them to leave all these cars? Do they have permission? Do we know? I don't know what we talked about, but, going down Dick's, towards Elder Drive, it's on the left side. Give me some help there?
Yeah, they were given permission by the previous chief because of the amount of complaints of them having to park on the side streets in the residential areas.
Okay, but I understood it was temporary. Is that not true? The previous chief says temporarily parked there.
Yeah, I think the gentleman's exploring, putting a structure up on the lot to park in. But I don't know in details of, a timing period. I just know it was approved to rectify the situation with the residents. They park them over there. They don't sell them from over there or service them over there. It's just simply parking.
It was just sitting there and have for years, seems to me. You know. Anyway, if you could, you know where the lot is I'm talking about? We'll find it. That's the lot with all the dirty cars parked without license. And then, can we, if we know any connection to the county, can we get them to try to fix that barricaded oak wood and Enterprise? And then we can start pools, you know, along it last before. But you guys, you drive right by that. Yeah. And that's kind of in the road.
Maddie had all the connections there.
She did. But that's Happy Street. I know it's not our city, but
Have you seen the cars come off?
something, you know what I'm talking about? You go around that corner, coming off of Enterprise on the.
Since I've been here, I know they probably, my understanding was, Tommy said every time we fix it, the truck pulls it away.
Oh, they're absolutely correct. It's been common for years, they've been knocking that down, but right now it's happening in the street.
It's the concrete.
Or not,
That's slow,
you know what
truck hits it.
That would stop them.
Oh, yeah, the truck was, you know exactly where it was at.
Real quick, another subject is capacity. You talked about the capacity at that hall, and it's been pointed out that the mosque has way more than it's supposed to have. It was estimated there were, well, I don't know how they estimated. Somebody said there were absolutely hundreds and hundreds of people in there for that little building. I don't know, do we pay attention to, where, that mosque does not have a number on how many people can be in there, is that correct, do you know?
I would have to say what it does, but I don't know what it is.
Back when it changed from the Methodist church, we had discussion on this, and it was brought up that they took the pews out. Therefore, they were unsure of how big, the capacity was, remember that?
Yeah, cause it changed because of the pew set.
So the mask, and what was the other?
This
two?
one,
The home.
which one?
This one, the one-
There's one right across, the mosque right across the street and down a little ways.
Mask on Oakwood.
I did have officer that last 2 Fridays for a party store and kind of, and I talked to him, the owner a few times.
Right, and I appreciate that, I mean, I know about, he's got his own baggage on that, but if they're really overloading that mosque, that's a public safety concern. So I don't know what we can do, just throwing it out there.
Yes, I'll, look into what the capacity is, but.
All right,